Hi, I'm Sarah from Turn Back Time. It's day 41 for my Eating in Perfect Balance challenge. Not much movement to report today. My weight stayed the same, probably because I was working until 3 a.m. Remember, if you stay awake late at night, you flood your body with cortisol, which inhibits the fat-burning human growth hormone from coming out. I hear it shouting in my head, but I still have to work too late sometimes. My thighs are a bit slimmer, down to 20 inches each in circumference, probably because I'm keeping up the exercise routine and really quite enjoying it. There are loads of workouts on YouTube to 60s, 70s and 80s music, so I can have my own party every morning at 8 a.m. What better way to turn back time than to listen to our favourite teenage music? As well as recommending things to include in this diet, I've also mentioned a few things to avoid, like the plague. And today, I want to talk about high fructose corn syrup. This is another of those substances which we consumers have slowly cottoned onto. And some manufacturers are now writing on their labels, no HFCS. Maybe you haven't even known what that meant, but you need to, so you can avoid all those who are still using it. It's in so many supermarket foodstuffs. The problem goes back to the way the corn is grown in the first place. It's chemically altered using enzymes to convert the complex starches in corn to simple sugars, i.e. fast sugar, which rushes into the bloodstream. So it's a GMO product. Nearly all US corn is GMO. It's much cheaper than sugar and it has a longer shelf life, so manufacturers favour it. And because it's in so much, we imbibe far too much of it. We should be taking in about 15 grams of fructose every day via fruit and veg. But just one can of soda or fizzy drink is 23 grams of fructose. And people chain drink them. High fructose corn syrup is half fructose and half glucose. It isn't just a sweetener. It's also a stabilizer, an emulsifier, and a preservative. Here are some of the things that it does when it gets inside you. It attacks your gut bacteria, so you get digestive issues. It feeds bad cholesterol. It makes your body more acidic, causing gout and high blood pressure. It can give you cirrhosis of the liver without you ever touching an alcoholic drink, and children. It causes cancer, especially colon cancer. Makes you fat. And it's been found to affect memory and learning, degenerating the neurons in the prefrontal cortex, which is just horrendous. When I defy you to pick up any kid's treat in the supermarket and not find HFCS in it. Breakfast cereal, yogurts, cakes, sweets, soft drinks, fast food. At the other end of the age scale, it's causing dementia and Alzheimer's. Vitamin D, interestingly, can protect against high fructose corn syrup in the brain, but don't put it in there in the first place. Tests have shown many brands of HFCS even have mercury in them. Some manufacturers have tried to hide it by just calling it what it is, like glucose-fructose or isoglucose, but it's the same thing. The dietary guidelines for Americans state that you should only eat 50 grams of added sugars, including high fructose corn syrup, a day. 50 grams! Nearly 5 blocks of our 10 to 13 block carb intake a day can be added sugar. These people truly are out to kill us. The minute you stop imbibing high fructose corn syrup, your body takes 9 days to eliminate the metabolic effects of it. You might be sitting there thinking, well, hang on a minute, you said it was made of fructose and glucose, both things that the body needs, and that's true. But it's the amount that we're getting it in and the way that it comes into the body. The glucose half of high fructose corn syrup is processed in the normal way, and insulin mops up any excess in the blood. But fructose is not controlled by insulin. So it gets into the blood without regulation, and then it's absorbed into the cells. Once in the cell, it divides into 2 molecules which become fat. If we're taking in limited amounts of natural fructose from whole foods, like on this diet, then there's no problem. But endless imbibing of high fructose corn syrup is basically just eating or drinking fat and damaging chemicals to boot. There's an easy way to avoid HFCS. Don't eat anything you haven't cooked yourself. Or read every label closely and avoid anything with it in. It's a faff, I know, but far less of a faff than serious illness. And one thing to note is if you go into the supermarket looking for maple syrup as a better sugar substitute, don't buy maple flavoured syrup, because that's pure high fructose corn syrup. Maybe many of you already knew that and you're avoiding it. I hope so, just in case. See you tomorrow.